Okay, you guys ready? Ready for this? You ready to write some stuff down? We're talking about the Bronsted-Lowry stuff. Bronsted-Lowry talks about what is it that makes an acid and a base in Bronsted-Lowry? What makes it different from the Arrhenius acid base? Who can tell me that? Who can tell me what makes Bronsted-Lowry more specific of an acid base definition than the traditional Arrhenius acid base? So how does Arrhenius define an acid and a base? So is this the Bronsted-Lowry? Arrhenius. So Arrhenius acids and bases are talking about protons being exchanged in aqueous environment, in water environment. Okay, so that's, you can't form H3O if we're not in water. You know what I mean? If I just were to put hydrochloric acid on, like, I don't know, like just iron, like it's not going to form hydroxide, right? Unless there's like in the presence of oxygen. Okay, so the traditional Arrhenius acid base is talking about hydroxide, is talking about hydronium H3O, because it's happening in an aqueous solution. It's happening in water. Whereas Bronsted-Lowry is a little bit more specific in a different way and doesn't have to be aqueous. How does the Bronsted-Lowry differ? Like, what is Bronsted-Lowry's definition of acid base? Proton acceptor, proton taker, giver and acceptor. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily entail that the acid base interaction has to happen with H2O or something like that. It could happen with, you know, a lot of different things, right? Most of these things, you're going to see them happening in water. You're going to see them happening in water. Okay, but we're not looking for specifically the presence of a hydroxide being formed or a hydronium being formed. We're looking at the giver and taker of the hydrogen ion, the proton. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. So when I look at this question right here, which is the proton donor? Well, all you have to do is look at the equation and go, which one lost the proton? What are we calling a proton? We're calling the H plus the proton, right? Remember that hydrogen has a H, it's a +1 if you look at the periodic table, right? Chlorine is all the way over in the halogen group, that has a -7, right? You remember we get, and I know we're not doing Lewis structure acids and bases, right? We're not doing the Lewis bases, but on the periodic table, we know hydrogen has a .1, chlorine has 7. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you see that right there? How that makes a bond? So this is because this is a +1 and this is a -1. So these match up and it's really good. So this goes all the way back to our Lewis structures that you need. This is why it's important to know stuff throughout the entire year. You can't just like set it and forget it in chemistry. You got to know. Okay, because it makes the stuff make a lot more sense. Okay, if you don't just kind of like, all right, I memorized it for the day, I got the test done. Well, yeah, you're probably sitting here right now going, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But if you are paying attention to this stuff, it should start falling in. Like, maybe you don't remember it off the top of your head. I'm not expecting that. Thank you. But it should, like, as I'm explaining it, you go, oh, light bulb, I remember this. Yeah, this makes sense now. So why do acids and bases work really well with the halogen groups? Because halogens are -7, H is +1. Okay, so that's why this is a single replacement, guys. These are all just single and double replacement reactions. It's not anything special. Don't worry about these newfangled definitions of proton acceptor, proton donor. What we're really talking about is ion stealing and ion taking, right? Which we did when we talked about Lewis structures way back in the day. We talked about valence electrons. This is basically just why do I want to shift over a hydrogen? It's because it's a +1 on the periodic table, right? Why is the base going to take and accept a proton? Because it's the minus, right? Its ion is a minus. Okay, so let's look over here. Does that make sense so far what I'm saying? Trying to relate it back. So which one's going to donate the proton? Well, look over here. Which compound lost the proton? The HCl, I can tell because look on the product side. Cl is by itself. Say again. What? Yeah. So the HCl, the hydrochloric acid, gave up its proton to this guy over here. Okay. to this guy over here. And you can tell because look, how many hydrogens does it have on this side? It's got 3. It didn't get it from nowhere. It got it because this was HCl. Now there's no H, and all of a sudden there's 3 over here. I wonder where it could have gone. You know what I mean? We're talking about conservation of mass. The products and reactant atoms have to be the same. This is the same that we've had from when we've started balancing from the beginning of the year, right? It's the exact same. Does that make more sense? Give me a thumbs up if what I'm saying so far makes more sense. Okay. So what is going to be the proton acceptor or the proton giver? Send me in chat. Which one is going to be giving up the proton? Send it to me in chat. Yes. Very good. Very good. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Very good. Okay. Yeah. It's obvious. Okay. But you have to remember, even though it's a new chapter, it's building off of what you know about balancing equations, about single and double replacement, right? Remember that this is a relatively active ion, right? It's pretty electronegative. It likes to do stuff. And so is this. So this guy right here ends up being the proton donor. Which one accepted the proton? Send me in chat. Which one accepted that proton? Nope, that has already accepted the protons. Yeah, so H3O, the hydronium, is not accepting of the proton. It already accepted it. Who had to accept it to become H3O? It would be this guy here. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, and the second part of Bronsted-Lowry's description of acids and bases, he starts talking about this C word, base and acid. What is the C word I'm talking about? Conjugate. Okay, and it's a little confusing, but after you see a couple examples of it, it's really not that bad. So remember that an acid is something that gives or takes a proton. Which one? Gives. Okay, now I want you to look on the product side of this reaction. Which of these compounds or ions is going to be more willing to give a proton? If I were to reverse the situation, if I were to reverse the reaction that way, which one would be willing to give up its proton or give up its ion? The hydronium, right? So technically speaking, if I were to go the other way, hydronium would be acting as a what? An acid or a base? It would be acting as an acid, right? If I were to reverse the situation, reverse the equation, because we're an aqueous solution, a lot of these interactions can reverse, okay? So we see a lot of this in chemistry, boom, it yields that, but in reality, this is what's happening all the time. These reactions are not one way. A lot of the times these reactions, after the energy to form these bonds kind of dies down, the heat dissipates, they will separate and they'll return back to the way they are. There's like, it finds an equilibrium. So those of y'all who are like, so I have a student in here that's in pre-AP chemistry, they start looking for equilibrium constants, right? Because these reactions are rarely just one-sided, right? You got products being made over here, you got them reversing, and then in the reverse, you end up making products that were never even there before. You know, it's kind of reactants that were never even there before. So because if I were to reverse this interaction, because in the opposite, the corollary, this would act as an acid, we call this a, guess what? Conjugate acid. Does that make sense? It becomes the conjugate acid. Okay. And over here, if I were to reverse the situation, this hydrogen would be given back to HCl. This would be acting as the what? Conjugate base. Cool or what? Because it would be the proton acceptor if I were to reverse the situation. Okay, so with that in mind, I want you to look down here and find 2 sets of proton acceptor, proton donator pairs. Okay, so look for them in there. And send me one from, I'll give you a hint. There's one in this column. Is there? Am I lying? Yeah, there's one in this column. There's one in this column. Give me the one in this guy right here. Which one is the proton acceptor donator pair? It has to be the one that gives to the other one. It has to be the one that gives to the other one. So H2O and H3O are not giving the proton to each other. They're not acting as an acid and base for each other. Right. Just go back to this question up here at the very top. The HCl gave its proton to who? Right there. Yeah, that's the first acid-base pair. Okay, on this column over here, what would be the acid-base pair? Oh, you know what? I lied. You're right. It is this one. It's that one there. And then over here, we got this guy here. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is literally the same thing you just did. Actually, just a little easier though. So who can tell me what Bronsted-Lowry acids are going to do when they interact with stuff? Let's repeat it again. What do they do? Bronsted-Lowry acids and acids do what? Start real basic. What do they do? What makes a Bronsted-Lowry acid an acid? What is it that they do by definition? They donate a proton, which is represented by which symbol in this equation? Which symbol is represented as the proton in this formula? The H. So if I'm saying donate, that means it should be gone on the right side, on the product side. So it's in water. So I should have this acid plus a water. Which one is the proton donor? This guy or this guy? Yeah, chlorous acid. That means this H is going to go over here, which means how is the H2O going to change? It should become hydronium, which is part of the Bronsted-Lowry definition of acid and base. Acids create hydronium in aqueous solution. Hydronium is H3O. There's a lot of vocab you need to know for this. This right here, that's hydronium. Not vibranium, hydronium. Okay, comes from Wakanda. Just kidding. All right, what would this become now? What is the term for that after it gains a proton on the reactant side or the product side? What do we call this? This was a base. It now becomes a what over here? A conjugate acid. We just did this right now. Okay, this is now negative. It would accept a proton if we were to go the other way. This would be the conjugate base. Very good. Okay, so I should be losing the proton here, gaining one here. What happens to the overall net charge of this guy? Up or down? What happens to my chlorous acid when it just becomes chlorate? What happens to chlorate? It's a charge. It should go down to what? -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what? Right now, what's the charge? 0, because it doesn't have any number. So if I lose a +1, what happens to the charge? Should be a -1. So what's the answer, guys? It's the one that I've been playing with, right? Does that make sense? It's literally the same thing we just did, but it's easier because we're just talking about this is a very specific interaction where I'm just associating the acid into water. The only thing that the acid has to interact with is water. Okay. All right. Does that make sense or no? Okay. If this were a base, Bronsted-Lowry bases, they create hydroxide in water. So you'd be looking for an OH and you'd be looking for a plus instead. Okay. So if you guys want, we can do a couple of those real quick. Tell me which one in the chat is the correct one for base, keeping in mind we're not doing an acid this time, we're doing a base this time. Right. We've seen some answers come in. Very good. That's correct. Those are correct. Okay, so it should be, okay, so a base is something that accepts a proton, which is another way of saying it should gain a hydrogen. So it should become more positive or less positive. Which one? More positive or less positive? More positive. What's going to happen to my H2O? Does it lose a hydrogen or gain a hydrogen? Lose. It is the acid in this case, okay? Which means its charge should go up or down. It should go down because it's losing a positive thing, okay? So let's see, what's wrong with this one right here? It did not gain a proton. So in this case, it was almost acting as the acid. So that's not right. Okay, what's wrong with this one? Yeah, it lost it again. I don't see the difference between this one and this one actually. I think one and two I think are the same. Yeah, it's the exact same. Yeah, let's look at number 4. What's wrong with this guy? It lost again. Then over here, it gained an oxygen somehow. So that's just totally wrong. So it should be that one. Cool. All right. This makes sense. Let's make this make a little bit more sense. So go through this assignment today. You know, try to see if you can get all of them right. See if you can get like 5 or 6 of them right, and then start writing them out. So that way, when you upload them, it's a lot easier. All right. Let's see.